Hello everyone and welcome back to the Glorious Domination sub-series of the Chassis Variant series, which is the series within the series and the Summon Theories. We're back with the last of the Black Lanners in the standard pack. I do not have the D or the E variants to make Chassis Variant vids of, but I will do when they're available for C-Bills. So, the C variant is a close fire support model that was in use by the likes of Ice Hellion, Steel Viper, Jade Falcon, primarily Jade Falcon now, and this is equipped with 6 ER mediums and 1 Streak 6, which means it's one of the better Black Lanners for packing firepower. It also means Omnipod wise you might want to take the left arm, because that is the one that comes with all of the energy hardpoints. You want to strap that on with any of the others that come with more energy hardpoints. You can rack up quite a few. I'm not quite sure how long your mech will be active if you decide to bolt all of the energy hardpoints onto it. It'll probably overheat very quickly, but you could do it if you really want to. As a stock build, it's incredibly hot. It does not have enough heat sinks to manage the heat. I believe it has 13 doubles in total, including the 10 in the engine, and that is not adequate to deal with the amount of heat that this mech generates. So, as a stock loadout, Chainfire is definitely recommended. I was firing them 3 and 3, and I'd get best about 3 bursts before I was running the red line on the mech, and I'd have to back out, which at least the mech does have the speed to be able to do that. Outside of that, the mech has 2 major drawbacks, and they're both of its arms, because the other versions at least have weapons that are in the side torsos. This one relies entirely on its arm-mounted weaponry, which means if you're up against a Black Lanner that's using any of the Omnipods from the C variant, just blow the arms off and it runs out of weapons instantly. Left arm is the primary one because it will lose about 95% of its firepower. That's definitely one thing to keep in mind, because the arm pod on the C variant is actually quite big, and I was actually surprised in this fight I didn't lose it, but I managed to keep them. This was also, compared to the A battle, which I admit the damage was a bit pants on that one, but I recorded these all on the same night as the Prime gameplay. This one was a much better fight, and the end score definitely reflects that. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why I picked the A and the C over the Prime. If, as I said in the A video, if you watch that as well, it's definitely these 2 variants are ones that I would buy for real money at push. Compared, if they come out for mech credits, it's probably worth picking up one of the 2 if you have any spare mech credits lying around. But it's just a good wait for C-Bills. It's just the Prime version, I think, suffers from trying to do too many things at once in MechWarrior, which doesn't really work out in this game, because the game and the kind of style that PGI push is definitely has a heavier emphasis on just take all the lasers or take all the DACA or just fire all the missiles. Having a mixed build, like a lot of battle mechs normally do, doesn't really work in the player's favour, and that's why we're in this current issue with things like the unfunding of MechWarrior and problems like that, with balance, and certain, obviously, Clan and Sphere chassis being counted as too powerful, while others that on tabletop are normally actually quite powerful, Direwolf being an example, just don't stack up, when other assault mechs, for instance, can do way more damage than the Daiichi ever did. So, that was one of my problems with the Black Lanner, was that the fact that it's not really bringing anything truly unique to the field, because there's already other mediums that can do its job and better. For instance, for argument's sake, this is a mech that, yeah, it has 6 energy hardpoints in one arm, but the Nova does that. It has 12 of them. So it's not really doing anything particularly special. And the Nova, I think, actually might have the same or more armor than this one, because the Black Lanner sacrifices a lot of its protection for speed, because it has such a large XL engine. So there's a trade-off, but you know, it's to say the Black Lanner is a fun mech. It is quite fun to run. It's definitely in my wheelhouse for style of playing a lot of matches, because being able to scoot and shoot is sometimes quite fun. It works very well on maps like this, where you've got wide areas that you can flank and use for cover. But yeah, it's sadly it just can't bring anything particularly new to the field, and this will be an argument. I know I've got off. Well, fuck it, let's just talk about this. For instance, the Fafnir. That's going to be around, not March, April. The unique selling point of the Fafnir is that it's a 100-ton assault that comes with dual heavy Gauss, which normally is, well, it's a hell of a draw, but we already have numerous assault mechs in the Inner Sphere lineup that players are already running around with dual heavy Gauss. Realistically, outside of nostalgia for MechWarrior 4, or it's your favourite mech, is there really a reason to pick it up? Because other 100-tonners can already do the same build. You can do it in an Annihilator. Maulers have done it, Victors have done it. So it's not... it doesn't really stand out as being particularly worthwhile picking up outside of a couple of minor factors, and that's just on the player side of things. So that was part of my argument about the Black Lanner. It's not that either of those mechs, the Fafnir or Black Lanner, are bad. It's just, I think we're at a point where all the builds have already been done prior to, because of the level of customization PGI allow, and it's getting harder and harder to justify, I think, to customers why you should buy this mech, for instance. And I mean, on the point of why you should buy this mech, the Black Lanner Charlie, for instance, doesn't actually come with ECM, which is one of the selling points for the Prime and the A at least. But yeah, the C version foregoes the ECM suite for the extra firepower, I guess. Also, yeah, they all come with mask, which is it's a nice thing to see, because not enough mechs actually come with mask in MechWarrior Online. It wasn't particularly common in the tabletop, if I remember correctly. I don't think mask was used all that much. Less so on Inner Sphere mechs than it was on clan mechs. They did have, I think the clans did actually use mask a bit more, because their actual style of combat usually revolves around getting in quick and doing things like alpha strikes, and then hopefully the opponent would be dead. Which is what I thought it was going to be overheated in front of that mech then, but managed to survive that one. So yeah, this round ended quite well, and it will end the Glorious Domination part of the Black Lanner series. Next week we'll be going back, what did we do last time with the Shadowcats? So I think I'll be going over, it might be the Novas next, or Blackhawks as they're known in the Inner Sphere, so probably running through the Blackhawks. It was really interesting because I haven't played a Blackhawk for a little while now, but I do actually still run the Prime version with the 12 ER mediums, 6 at a time, and yeah, nothing's hot. Oh yeah, skill wise, because I did actually pay out for all the skill points, so I've got about 5,000 of those banked ones from a while ago. Yeah, I used pretty much all of the cooldown ones I could get, all the armor, and focused on extending range and cooldown and laser duration, if you're interested. That's what I went for on that one. Just to give us rapid fire as possible and cooling, which, as you can see, doesn't really work that well. And I think the round's just about to end, so thanks for watching everybody. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!